I'm here, boys. We have something great to talk about. The Steam Deck. It's been popping around. Everyone's getting views for it, so of course I want some views. Joking. Here it is. We're going to be talking about why I feel like the Steam Deck is going to absolutely smash it, and why I think if you haven't already, sell your laptop and buy a Steam Deck. There's a lot of reasons why, and I definitely think you should grab one, because I am, and it's a bit crazy. So, as some of you may know, I mean, you're probably subscribed or you're on a Discord, which is in the link below. Trust me, it's very cool, very nice. There's a lot of random pictures of shit. Basically, I sold my Razer Blade, or I am selling my Razer Blade Pro for the Steam Deck. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell, man? That's like an expensive slice of bread. Why are you selling that to buy a Steam, whatever the hell it is, yeah? The Steam Deck, which I am just going to say this now, the name is terrible. Why on earth did they choose a Steam Deck as the name? I mean, they could have called it the Steam Boy, or the Gabe Boy, or the I don't know. I just made them two up on the spot. So, boys, I'm trademarking that, okay? I haven't really watched too many videos of the Steam Deck because I feel like a lot of it's going to be clickbaity. So I'm going to kind of just explain. I've looked at a lot of the deep analysis videos of it, not really the videos of like the other bits and pieces on it. I literally just watched like a performance video. I can't remember the guy, but he did an extremely awesome video based off the performance. Now, I personally think it would be very equivalent to what a 1650 is, because if you look at the testing and everything for it, a lot of people say that the current handhelds are around a 1050 Ti, so I reckon this will be about a 1650. It also makes sense because if you look at the benchmark tests for the games that they already shown on the IGN video, they're very similar to what the 1650 performs in those certain environments. Now, I might be wrong, I could be completely wrong, and I'm completely up, my hands up in the air, and you know, I don't mind admitting that. I have done a lot of looking into it, and I do see it being very similar. But the reason why I'm getting rid of my Razer to get the Steam Deck is because of this reason, and this reason only. My Razer like sits in my bedroom right behind me, yeah, in a little laptop sleeve. I don't use it much. I've literally got my powerhouse here, you know, my computer here, you know. I mean, I just don't feel as if I need two big powerhouses, as it were. I mean, the Steam Deck in itself is an absolute unit. Like, it is a very good computer. It runs Linux, which I personally have on my laptop in there, so I've got Arch Linux run on that, you know. So I love creating my own operating system and doing stuff. At the moment, I'm only using Manjaro because I wanted to, you know, my own ease of access. Like, I just don't want to care about coding and stuff. I just want to be up and running. And my idea is this: the Steam Deck is KDE Plasma desktop environment on SteamOS, which is a Arch Linux operating system. Perfect. That's what I have on my laptop. Okay, so that ticks that box. It's the same shit. Now, I've used Linux since, 2011, and I'll tell you this now, the performance increase compared to Windows is second to none, boys. Minecraft, there's videos on the internet of like Minecraft, for example, which I shared into the Discord, which shows like nearly 100 FPS difference, and that's crazy. I mean, right now, I'm using Windows 11, and I'll tell you now, I'm using about 7 to 8 gig idle, with just this. Actually, hold on. 8.5 gig with just this, my recording software. So I don't know what the hell's going on. It's so bloated. So it makes sense that there's less overheads when it comes to Linux. By the way, this video is going to be quite long. I've got a feeling it might be about 10-15 minutes. But now, another thing I like about the Steam Deck is this. Now, the Steam Deck, compared to any other handheld, is going to have complete support from a massive company, right? A lot of people were worried about the SD card factor, but there's a lot of videos online of games played from SD cards. You don't need to. I don't understand why people worry. I mean, the PSP played games on an SD card. The Nintendo Switch plays games on an SD card. There's videos online showing the One X player playing games off an SD card, and it's about a 15 to 20 seconds, difference. Honestly, I don't care too much. I bought I've reserved the 256 one. So this is the variant that I've reserved this one. So I've reserved the 256 gigabyte NVMe one, and the reason why is because with 256GB, I can possibly, I know a lot of people are not going to like me doing this, but possibly dual boot Windows on top of the Linux OS. So I'll have both the joys of Linux and Windows. I won't do it straight away because obviously I will use this primarily for gaming and browsing the web and stuff. But if I find there's a bottleneck with just SteamOS, I'm not sure. There's no details being how to access the desktop mode through the handhelds, not through the dock, but through the handheld. Because when I sit in bed, I'm gonna want to, connect to the internet and just have like my own, like the Linux operating system itself rather than SteamOS, right? Similar to how on Steam on Steam you can go straight into the big picture mode, so yeah. Now another thing that I was going to talk about, boys, was why I think that the 64 gig is not going to be the best case scenario. Now the 64 gig is on a different bus lane, right, when it comes to storage. I personally feel as if, this ground here gets me the same as this. So I've got the 4 times PCIe lanes. This one, you only get 1. Now for me, I mean, if I was just using this as a handheld itself and not as a laptop or, because I'm going to use this for productivity, I'm going to use it for words and all this sort of stuff. I'm just going to make sure I've got this one because it covers all the best ground for everything, right? With it, whereas this one, it's the lower tier stuff. I am going to be using this pretty much daily, so I want to make sure I've got pretty much the best. Now I don't go for the 512 gig one because I feel like it's just a waste of space, really, in my personal opinion, because 256 gig is way more than enough to get, say, Skyrim, Oblivion, probably, I don't know, Star Wars Battlefront, which is 80 gigs. You see what I'm coming from, right? There's a few games that actually would be within the 256 gig variant, and then for games that you don't really care about too much, you can pop them onto an SD card, and yes, you might see about a 20-second difference, but hey, if you really care about that, I really think people should reevaluate their expectations with this, because like I said, it's a handheld PC, right? A handheld PC that I can go and play Halo 3 on the toilet. Who would have guessed that 2021 would allow me to play Halo 3 on the toilet? It's a dream come true for me. So yeah, I mean, for me, I'm selling my Razer Blade because it does everything from productivity to everything. Now, the only little thing that I am a little bit concerned with is VR. Now, I know that for a fact you can actually install most VR apps through this and play VR. This uses FSR as well, so you can actually upscale it into those things and you'll get decent FPS. So I'm not really too concerned with that, and I know for a fact there will be a workaround for it. VR will be on this. I don't care what anyone says, VR will be on here. There will always be a market of people that want to bring this into the VR space because it's technically a massive portable PC that you can put somewhere in your bag or whatever. And I mean, I wouldn't want to put it in a bag because it'll overheat, but you can play VR titles on this. I can guarantee that now. However, I'm a bit worried about the whole compatibility layers and all this. But like I said, Proton at the moment, Proton is absolutely massive. It's huge. It supports pretty much 80 to 90% of the games that are available. The only ones that it doesn't really do are ones with anti-cheat or anything like this. But they've said by December that that's getting fixed. So pretty much Linux gaming is going to be at its all-time high in December. So there it is. There it is. Anyway, so I just want to say, so that's part of the reason why I'm selling my Razer for a Steam Deck. Also, on top of that, it's about ease of access, right? Like with a laptop, you can. A lot of people would argue that yes, you get the performance out of it, and why on earth would I buy a Steam Deck when I could get, I could just use my laptop, right, and play games the same way? But it's not the same way, right? If you're like me, yeah, and you want to play, I don't know. It's Seb from the future here. I just want to pop in and add my 2 cents, as it were. Now, I know that the Razer Blade is like 10 times more powerful. Like, a lot of people would say to me, what the hell, Seb, you're losing a lot of performance and all that to go to the Steam Deck. the actual case and the actual reality of the product is going to be so different, right? So like when you're holding the Steam Deck playing at 720p or 800p or whatever the native resolution of the Steam Deck is, right? Because I'm not sure if some games will support 800p. It supports 800p. It's going to be absolutely fine, right? I'm going to be able to get over 60 hertz because that's a screen, you know. I'm going to be able to hit 60, right? So technically I'm not really losing anything, because the reality is it's still hitting that refresh rate of the monitor, right? Obviously if you've got 144 hertz, yes, it would be nice to hit 144 hertz, but if I'm handheld, I'm actually, in my head, I'm actually happy to sacrifice some of that power in order for portability, for, you know, the ease of access, and being able to say to myself, look, actually I prefer, if I really want to hit 144 hertz, I'm going to use my desktop, right? So I'm not actually losing anything here. I'm actually gaining something that I never had before, which was that portability aspect, you know, something that I'm able to add to my collection, as it were, rather than saying, you know, actually I've just got two computers, you know, I've got something different there. I've got something different there that can add to my gaming experience, can give me that little bit more, but still do the same, right? I'm not losing anything other than a tiny bit of performance, but I'm still able to hit 60 FPS anyway. So am I really losing anything? I really want to just add that, because, you know, the Razer is a bit too powerful, I think, you know, because it heats up too much, and you get battery bloat issues, you get burnt out motherboards, you've got fan issues, you know. It's any gaming laptop has that. I've not seen one gaming laptop that is superb and keeps up to that. Every laptop has issues, and, you know, with a handheld, they know that portability is in mind, so they're going to keep to that. With laptops nowadays, they can't just throw anything into a chassis and call it a day, you know. So in my eyes, I'm not really losing anything. Yeah, I'm extremely excited for this as well. So anyway, on to the rest of the video, or whatever I was chatting about on there, you know. I mean, let's think about it. You know, Oblivion, right? I love Oblivion. Okay, so I want to play this on a Steam Deck. It's as easy as just turning on the device, going, finding the Oblivion logo, pressing play on it. Whereas on my laptop, I've got to load up Steam, click on it, and do it again. Then I've got to find a surface for my mouse. Then I've got to then sit in a comfortable position so my legs are like this, so I can have a laptop sitting on top of it. Let alone, then I've got to worry about the thermals, because, you know, if you guys don't realise, the reason why a lot of gaming laptops fail is because they are very, 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 very taxed when it comes to heating. In a very small chassis, you're getting about 80 degrees out of that thing, and that will not only burn your leg, because most laptops are aluminium nowadays, but it will also, you know, you're probably going to suffer with battery bloat, you know, which is a common thing. I know tons and tons of laptops that have battery bloat issues, and I hate it because there's nothing you can realistically do. But that is, again, something that I am worried about with the Steam Deck. I mean, I don't know how well it's going to handle thermals, but I know, knowing Steam or Valve, they're going to look at this and say, look, this, you know, the thermals in this are going to be looked after in a correct way. I mean, they've worked with AMD to do this. If they've said, look, we're making a small, you know, factor handheld, thermals are going to be up there. Thermals are going to be the massive thing, because, you know, otherwise they would have stuck a desktop CPU in it and called it a day, and then worried about thermals. So obviously thermals are a massive thing in this. Anyway, another reason why, it's ease of access, right? So I can play it on the couch and anything, right? It's so much easier than a laptop. I don't have to worry about all this, and it's a very good. It's got the best of both worlds. It's a gaming portable thing, which I use my laptop for, gaming. And then, you know, I've got the productivity out of it. And then another thing we need to talk about, boys, is the actual layout of the Steam Deck itself. I mean, I'm not trying to sell this to people. I'm just extremely happy that something like this has come out. So it's so open source. You know, you've got all those triggers and buttons which allow us to really do anything with it, right? We can do like 50 odd things with it. We've got touchpads, so we can play like Devil Daggers on the go. You know, these are things that you really in a laptop you can't do. As much as a laptop is portable, how many times do you need to plug it in to actually get full whack when it comes to the GPU? I mean, there's been many times where I've tried years and years ago to play on my Razer a game. I remember I was going to an old job, and I actually got my Razer out on the bus because it was like a 3-hour bus journey or something like this. So I got my Razer out and tried to play, what was it? I can't remember the game off the top of my head, but I tried playing a game, right? And I'll tell you now, without it being plugged in, it was literally capped at like 30 FPS. Then I uncapped it using the power settings, and I literally only had about 40 minutes of battery. So you see what I'm coming at, boys. It's like the Steam Deck allows me to have that difference in portability that my Razer never did. And I don't really use my Razer as it is. I mean, there'll be a lot of people that do use their laptop day to day. And for me, I will completely be honest with you now. Get a desktop PC. Just get one. It could be bog standard PC. Just leave it how it is. Just get a bog standard PC and upgrade it as you go along, and get a Steam Deck to complement that, you know, because I want to go and play some games on my desktop PC, and then if I want to go downstairs to my partner and just chill on the couch with her, play some emulated games, that's another thing I want to talk about, I can do that, right? Now, the Steam Deck as well, it can emulate pretty much everything. It does PS3, it does PS3, it does Nintendo Wii, it does anything that you can ever think of, because it's completely open source Windows, it's completely Linux, you know, everything's on that, right? Emulators are on Linux, emulators on Windows, boom, you got it all on there. Now, I mean, I've done some scores, and I've been looking at the same scores to performance, and it looks to me as if on the PS3 emulator, because of how unoptimized some games are on the PS3 emulator, it looks to me as if you can get about 20 to 30 FPS in Last of Us. Now, it's already capped at 30, I think, in on the PS3 one, whereas other games like Resistance 2 will play at 60 FPS straight away, easy. It's just, it depends on how well optimized the games are for the Steam Deck or for PC hardware on those bits of software. And obviously, you know, but saying that, even to be able to play PS3 titles on this is amazing. You know, this is a tinker's, I call it the tinkerer's world. I mean, I can do anything on this, right? I could play Oblivion downstairs, I can play Skyrim anywhere I want, I could go around someone's house with this and showcase some VR off on it, you know? And that's the beauty of it, right? It does everything that my laptop's able to do in a smaller form factor, and I'm able to preserve battery life. And I can lay in bed with this thing as well, boys. I can lay in bed and play Star Wars Battlefront. I've not ever been able to do this in my whole entire life. I mean, I did it on a PSP when Battlefront 2 was on there, but that's nowhere near the level of Battlefront 2 on the Steam Deck. I'm just being honest. I mean, I tried it on a laptop, and it just wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same. It was a bit weird, and I can guarantee you guys now, if you have a partner that you're laying in bed next to, and you've got your laptop on your lap, trust me, they're going to want to they tell you to turn down the brightness, because holy shit, when you're playing on like a 15-inch laptop and that brightness is everywhere, it's crazy, okay? So with the Steam Deck, obviously, you can kind of, you know, if you've had it handheld before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, you know, hide it under the pillows. No, I'm joking. You know, you get my gist of this. This is a very, very cool portable system that does everything that you would want it to do, right? I'm personally hoping that people cancel this and start listening to the stupid rumors where games run at only 30 FPS. Right? I actually don't care. Like, generally, if you want to cancel because you generally think this thing's going to run at 30 FPS in most titles, then go ahead. Please cancel, because it means that I get my reservation earlier. You know, so there's that. I'm excited for this thing. I know for a fact that it's going to be absolutely awesome. There is nothing with the Steam Deck which concerns me too much. I mean, obviously the thermals did, but that was really it. I mean, there's nothing really to be concerned about. I mean, obviously, like I say, upgradability, but maybe replacement of batteries is maybe another one. but knowing that this is a portable handheld, most batteries are put on the outside or the closest to the chassis outside, so it might just be like a normal laptop where you just unplug it and slide it out, because like anything, I am very I love being able to repair my items, and I was worried about how proprietary this thing might be, because remember, if they're working closely with AMD, it's going to be quite proprietary compared to, you know, to the hardware and everything. So, you know, either way, boys, I'm very happy. I'm very excited. I can't wait until this thing is out. I'm reserved for, I think it's Q2 of 2022, but I've got a strange feeling that they're going to ramp up the scores. They're going to ramp up the scores, and it means that we could possibly see the handheld coming out sooner rather than later, because they've seen that a lot of people want this. I know for a fact that if I was releasing a piece of hardware that I said was releasing in December, I'd ramp up production, push for that, because either, you know, if I could bring someone down from the Q2 to, like, say January or February, you know, that's a win for me, because otherwise you're gonna have a lot of people that are literally just gonna be sat there going, you know, what the hell, you know, I'm watching all these reviews and stuff, I haven't got mine. People get disappointed, people cancel their money, you know, that's just the way business works. People, you know, if people see this, people are just gonna, you know, cancel their reservations because they haven't got it. It's just, that's how it works, you know. People want it now or they don't want it ever. So to come December, we'll really see things ramping up, and it'll be awesome because we can start to see actual FPS benchmarks and everything, which will either work in two ways. People will either see that it is a portable system and that it plays at 60 FPS on pretty much medium or like most titles, AAA titles, and people are disappointed because for some reason people expect this to be like a 3090 you know, and a Ryzen 9 in this little portable thing, or people are expecting or expected less and it performs better, and that's when we start to see an issue with reservations. But either way, I'm stupidly excited for this, and like I said, I will confirm it now, I am selling my Razer Blade for this thing, because like I said, I don't use my Razer's sitting in there, you know, and also with all the worry of those fans ramping up, like those fans on that laptop, man, ramp up so high, it's insane. Like, I'm literally on Windows idle and those fans will whirl up, and if I play like Skyrim on that thing, it sounds as if a PS4 is like the fans are off on a PS4. Like, seriously, it is that loud. It's crazy. So, and before you ask, I've replaced the thermal paste in it. I have undervolted the laptop. I've done everything for that laptop in order for it to reduce in thermals, and it's still such an issue. So for me anyway, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to start, you know, focusing on the next part, which is portability. You know, we buy these laptops for portability. I'm buying a Steam Deck for portability. You know, if I want to go around my friends, I can bring my Steam Deck, I can play Battlefront with him. Life's good, right? Anyway, I'm not expecting the best from this thing, you know. If you really do care a lot about specs and you care about performance and things, I'd recommend buying a PC first. Spend all your money, that's 600 quid or whatever you're going to spend on that Steam Deck. I think mine's 400. Spend money on your desktop PC. Once you've got that up, then start thinking about a Steam Deck. That's my personal opinion. That's probably the best option for me, because then you've got the best of both worlds. I mean, I'm not telling you to not get a laptop, but for me, I am finding a very hard sell to get a laptop. You know, there's nothing that a laptop can really do that the Steam Deck can't, if that's the right way of saying it. I mean, obviously the only thing is the keyboard, but you've got the dock for that, haven't you, boys? And if not, you've got the virtual keyboard as well. And I mean, no one complains about using their phones, you know, virtual keyboard. So there you go, boys. Anyway, this has been a really long video, but I hope to God I've kind of given some people some clarity on it. I'll probably make like a part 2 of this video if anyone comes up with some more issues or whatnot. But for me, the Steam Deck running on Linux, which means less overheads, meaning better performance, you know, it's gonna be an awesome thing, and I'm excited for it. And I generally think people shouldn't be worried about the SD cards, shouldn't be worried about the GPU or the specs. Shouldn't be worried about anything. Just get your reservation in. If you don't like it, cancel the reservation. You keep your money. There's nothing to lose, boys. So anyway, it's been me, Seb boy, your boy, Roxia boy. No, but anyway, I'm out. I've got a couple of other videos that I'm actually releasing this week as well. So I'm actually excited about them. They're a little bit different. Yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I've been away a lot because obviously I've been doing stuff in the house as well. So it is a little bit difficult for me to kind of juggle everything around, and obviously with my workload and everything. So yeah, guys, anyway, you've all been amazing. Thank you so much for watching this much through. I know it's been very long-winded, but like I said, thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. Anyway, I'm out. I'll leave you guys be, and I'll see you on stream. I'll see you on stream, boys. You know, we love stream. Stream's fun. Anyway, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Merry Christmas.